Hey, what's up everybody? I hope you all are having a great day and a great start to it. So today, I kind of want to talk about positive thinking. It seems like the world has become a little bit crazy, especially if you're focusing too much on the news or if you're focusing too much on what you're reading online or social media. A lot of negative things tend to come into your feed. And that, I think there's nothing wrong with being aware with what's going on in the world, but too much of that, especially the negative part of it, could really mess with our psychology, could really start to think negative thoughts mostly, could really start to make us afraid of living life, enjoying life. And that's when it becomes a negative thing. That's when it becomes not so good of a thing. That's why I try not to spend too much time reading the news or watching the news or too much time scrolling or looking at negative things on my feed, because that to me doesn't work well for my energy, and that does not work well for my mindset. And that's why I think it could be tough to think positive if you're continuing to feed that negative stuff in your mindset. Now, I was always kind of wondering on why we tend to think negative thoughts when thinking of various scenarios. Like if we are thinking of various scenarios like becoming rich or our goals um, or something that we're afraid of, like flying or driving on the freeway, or whatever it happens to be that we're afraid of, we tend to be it tends to our mind tends to go to the negative side. And why is that? Is because it's part of the human psychology to really be attached to certain negative things that happen in our life, certain traumatic events that happen in our life, and like criticism that people get for whatever reason. Any negative thought, any negative thing that comes into our life, we tend to attach to that more than positivity. It's just that our normal human psychology, and it's something that I don't know if we can necessarily unlearn, but we can necessarily, in a way, reprogram it a little bit. That's why I think it's good to be very sensitive about what you're bringing into your life, what negative thing and what negative thoughts that you're bringing into your life, and really feed that with positivity. I think if you feed yourself with more positivity, then it'll kind of like reprogram your mind to really focus on the positive stuff. Now, we're all human. No matter how much you do this exercise, no matter how much you are able to reprogram your mind, you're never going to completely and 100% be able to think positive thoughts all the time. It's just not going to happen. But I think if we focus and work hard on reprogramming that part of our mind, we can do a little bit better. That's why it's really important to focus on the positive stuff, really focus to feed yourself with positive thoughts and tell yourself positive stories and positive things. And I always like to tell myself, would I tell someone who I love this story that I'm telling myself? Would I tell that to someone I love? And most of the time I'll say, no, I wouldn't. Some of the stuff can be very, very negative within our mindset. So that's why it's great to just focus on feeding yourself positive energy. That's why I love to listen to personal development. I love to listen to audiobooks. Recently, it's something that I tried recently. Positive music and stuff like that. Really focus and feeding in your mind the positivity. So that's my main message within this video, is to focus on feeding your mind more positive thoughts, more positivity. And I think it can, I don't know what the right word I'm looking for. I think it can more like overtake some of the negative thoughts that we have in our mind. It'll never 100% go away. But if we can reprogram our mind with the positive thinking, the negative thoughts won't affect us as bad as it previously did. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of this video. If you have any suggestions for the future videos, please in the comment section below. If you want to make an extra income on your schedule at home around things you'd love to do, please visit my website, BrentHosaka.com, to learn more. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you next time. Okay? Bye, everybody.